Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. Life is too short. I was at work last week, and I have a type of job. I'm customer service. I'm the accounting person. And it's a very fast pace where I'm on the phone dealing with contracts, making sure invoices are paid and sent out and passwords, etc. So I went to give the boss some contracts to sign. And he asked me how I was. And I said, well, I'm stressing out. And he said, you know what, life's too short. And I said, you know, that's true. Life is too short. And I went back and I'm thinking, why am I stressing? But that's what I used to do when I was married to an alcoholic. I used to stress. I'd be walking back and forth at night when he would go out drinking, wondering if he would come back or not. And then I learned to accept he's responsible for his own actions. Then going through a divorce, I learned to take things 1 minute at a time, 1 hour at a time to get through life. And I've survived that, where I ended up getting a college degree, bought 2 houses, moved down here from Nashville, Tennessee, and made new friends. Well, the past few months, certain things have happened in my family and also some friends that I have that have really hit me hard, where I do realize life is too short. I have a friend named Jennifer, and her father-in-law died in October of cancer, and they knew he was dying in August. And she said he had a couple months to live, and then sure enough, he did die in October. Also, in September, I got a phone call from my sister. My niece's husband was diagnosed with bone cancer. He had 2 to 4 months to live. Originally, he was diagnosed with lung cancer in January. He's 42 years old. They have 2 children, a girl 14 and a boy 9. They're up in Ohio. And then all of a sudden in August, he was diagnosed with bone cancer. And he made a decision. He didn't want to go through the treatment. He was ready to die. He died October 28th. Then the next time, as you know, with my daughter, what happened with her is that she had her leg amputated the day before Thanksgiving. She had broken her ankle, and it got infected. And to save her life, they had to amputate her left leg, below the knee. And she was in the hospital for 5 weeks up in Greenville, South Carolina. And then my aunt, who's 88, or I think she's 88, she died January 2nd of lymphoma. She found out July she had lymphoma, decided not to take the treatment, and she died January 2nd. Wow. And right after that, I got an email from a friend of mine who told me that someone I know was just diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, stage 4, and has 2 to 4 months to live. Turns out it's Jennifer's brother, and it's somebody that you all know, Dave Cunningham, who's a member of our club. So I'm going, oh my God, and he's only 55. So I realize life is short. And when I get down on myself, I think about what is the worst thing that can happen to me, and I usually think cancer. That's the worst thing that can happen to me. Talking to Jennifer, Jennifer said they've never had cancer in their family. Well, I can name a whole bunch of people in my family that have cancer. They have survived. My brother had testicular cancer when he's 21. He's 55 now, a survivor. A brother and sister that have melanoma that survived. And I know myself, I need to take care and make sure I get tested for breast cancer because my aunt and my grandmother died from that. And also the fun one that you all take in your 50s, the colonoscopy. When you get to be in your 50s, you get to do that one. I know I need to have that checked every 5 years because they found something. And then my mother died from Alzheimer's. And that is the worst thing I think anyone can die from, is Alzheimer's. Well, what they have in the medical right now, you can find out if you have that gene, if you have that trait, if you have that marker to have breast cancer, to have Alzheimer's. And I don't know if I want to be tested for that. Because if I find out I'm going to have Alzheimer's, I don't know what I would do. That's where I realized life is too short. So you take it one day at a time, you enjoy things. I have 4 grandchildren. I don't see them as much as I like to. And they live around here, so there's no excuse on that one. But I enjoy doing things with them. And I remember when I grew up, I hardly saw my grandparents. I grew up in Ohio, and my grandparents were in Florida, or my other grandparents lived out in the country, and I only saw them at Thanksgiving and Christmas. So I like to enjoy meeting them. I enjoy being in Toastmasters and meeting new people. In fact, if any of you know Dave Cunningham, he's a great person. And what I would recommend, let me tell you about Dave on him. He's a hard person to get a hold of, okay? So if you got his phone number, you can see in the directory his phone number. You can call him. Don't expect him to answer the phone. Don't expect him to call back. If he does, fine. And the email I got was from Charles, because Dave said to tell the Toastmasters that he does have pancreatic cancer. And when you hear someone having pancreatic cancer, you know they're not going to live very long on that. That's one of the worst cancers that you can get. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can email him. So just see how he's doing. I don't know if he's going to answer you or not, but just take it one day at a time. Enjoy life as it is, and life is short.